All right, National College Football Roundup, SEC Media Days this week in Nashville, and 2 days down, 2 days to go. It is a 4-day event. Ted, are we going to go next year?
Probably.
Yeah, you are. You're going to be reluctant, but I know you're going to go. I can see the look in your eye.
For the the inaugural year, it's close. Yeah, probably. But
Yes. Yeah, so Greg Sankey announced that SEC Media Days will be held at the Omni in downtown Dallas in 2024, which it seems like a very nice welcome to Oklahoma and Texas and to all the media members, right, that cover those teams. Going to be awfully convenient. We got to go. I would assume we'll both be there doing radio. Maybe we can sprinkle in some podcast stuff while we're down there as well.
Be easy, knock it all out. And my goodness, 4 days, it's like there's concerts going on, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's probably going to be a scene.
Yeah, it seems like the SEC is pretty dead set on getting the media members that cover that conference nice and drunk.
Right.
Which is the way it should be. Great job, Southeastern Conference.
Everyone's like, it's 1 a.m. Man, this is just the best conference there is, man. It's the best. I love it.
It just means more, brother. Just means more. Now, do you think a lot is being made about them moving that to Dallas next year? Remember, SEC Media Days, they're moving it all around now, like within that footprint. Some people view it as Sankey tried to take over the state of Texas. Some people view it as a slight to Texas A&M. Like, how did you interpret that announcement from Greg Sankey?
Well, I think it's laughable when people say it's not in Dallas because of Oklahoma and Texas. Yeah, it is. It's never been in Dallas before. It's a massive media market that they're trying to capture. And how did they try to capture it? By bringing in Oklahoma and Texas. All right, that's it. So they're going to go to Dallas because Oklahoma and Texas are in it's not to be closer necessarily, but it's to get all of those fans in the Dallas area, OU fans, Texas fans. I mean, there's a lot. It's a huge football area. And to be able to go into that market, and I'm not saying that market wasn't interested in the SEC before. I mean, everyone in college football has been, but to be able to welcome it and put your stamp SEC in Dallas, something that they've never done. And that specifically is the reason they brought in OU and Texas, is for that huge market. OU and Texas dominate Dallas, and the fact that the SEC is going to be able to move in there and grab those ratings, they're going to celebrate it, and they're going to make everyone aware.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, because when you look at Dallas, like the breakdown, there are alumni from everywhere there, right? But there are a ton of UT grads and a ton of OU grads. I don't think a lot of people realize just how many OU people live in Dallas.
Huge. The OU Club of Dallas is huge.
It's massive. And I love that the SEC is, I don't know if throwing OU and Texas a bone is the right way to put it, but the fact that they're saying, hey, yeah, welcome to the conference. Your fans, all these people, like all the media members that cover your teams, we want you to feel welcome. I just think it's smart business from Greg Sankey, right? And I'm sure there's a little, hey, we want the SEC, or we want Dallas to be an SEC city. I'm sure there's a little bit of that to it, right? There is always a business angle to these decisions. But at the very least, I just think it's Greg Sankey saying, hey, guys, welcome to the conference. And I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, thanks, Greg. Like, that makes me feel good. I don't have to go that far for my first SEC Media Days. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be comfortable there in Dallas. I don't know. I just thought it was a common sense, intelligent decision from the conference.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be it's always a big deal. You see what's been going on now with it. It's a huge deal. They do it right. My guess is next year in Dallas, it's going to be over the top, just to say like this is kind of how we do things. And you're going to have a lot of people kind of coming out of there saying, like, gearing up for the season, going to be like, this is going to be different. It's going to be insane. I think that's what they're going to try and gear people up for. And I don't know. It's awesome. And listen, it's in Dallas. Dallas has not been in the footprint before. It is now with the addition of Texas and Oklahoma, you know, as far west as we are, we're the westernmost in this thing. So, like, there's a bunch of, like, there's like the old school SEC diehards are like, no, you know, this doesn't have anything to do with Oklahoma, Texas. Are you drunk? Like, I don't even understand how you could say that. It's not within the footprint. They've never had it there before. Yeah, it's exactly why they're doing it. And I think it's going to come off really well for everyone. And it's Dallas. It's not like they're having it in Pauls Valley or anything. Okay. Dallas is easily accessible for everyone in the conference. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Easy to get there, right?
No shot at Pauls Valley. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Unnecessary shot for just a ricochet shot for Pauls Valley there. Wow.
Like, whoa, Pauls Valley did not think they were going to be in this discussion.
You're a small town Oklahoma guy. What are you doing, man?
Love Pauls Valley. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but I think Texas A&M fans are going to get over it, right? Anytime focus is placed on Texas and not them, they get all up in their feelings, and I'm sure they're annoyed that everyone's saying this is only for OU and Texas. They're like, no, there's lots of A&M grads in Dallas too, which there probably are, but no one really cares. But yeah, this is cool, and I'm excited. I think it's smart by the conference. It's exciting for OU and Texas players, fans, media members, and I won't lie, it made me wonder if Oklahoma City could host SEC Media Days someday. Can we get big enough to host SEC Media Days? They move it around. Hey, if Hoover, Alabama can host it, and I know it's just right outside of Birmingham, I get that. But if Hoover, Alabama can host it, Oklahoma City can host it. Just saying.
Agree.
Just saying.
Agree.
You look concerned. What happened?
I am. Can I run to the restroom real quick?
Ooh.
I got snot that's about to run out of my nose. I was looking for a Kleenex.
And a break. And we're back. All right. Looking at some of the other significant things that have come out of the first 2 days of SEC Media Days. Jimbo Fisher, man. He just loves making his fan base nervous, doesn't he? I mean, he refused to say that Bobby Petrino will call the plays for Texas A&M. And here's what he said. Here's the quote. Hopefully he'll call the game. We'll have suggestions on things we do, whether it's offense, defense. Every coach is always involved. It's more a collective thing than people want to give it room for. Now, he went on to say that he's got a ton of respect for Bobby Petrino, his ability to call plays, thinks he can do it. But, Ted, Jimbo Fisher refuses to come out and say, yeah, Bobby Petrino is going to be our offensive play caller. And I don't think Texas A&M fans like hearing him not just come out and say it, man. It's starting to make that fan base a little nervous.
It creates the perfect, I love it, because there's nothing better than when Jimbo Fisher starts to squirm, right? And starts pointing accusations right back at people and talking faster and faster and faster. It's great. I just think he has his style of offense that they've run. Bobby Petrino has a different offense. It's not wildly different, but he's got a different play calling style. He's got a few different things that he likes to do. I just think Jimbo is correctly hiding where the influence of the offense is going to be. So people don't just like, if he's like, yep, it's Bobby Petrino's offense. That's why I brought him here. He's going to run with it. I've liked the things that he's done recently. Like he's really good at putting his system in. Well, then everyone is just going to only study his system, right? If you go out there and say that, and if you at least leave a little bit of mystery there, guys are going to have to still dedicate time during the offseason of what A&M has done recently and what they think they may continue to do, and like what of the key things from Jimbo's offense that they may pull from and continue to do. I think that's all he's doing, is just trying to keep people from really dialing in and keeping things as clouded as possible. But I love that everyone keeps asking him and making a huge deal of it. It's great.
I love it. I love how upset it makes his own fan base. They're just like, could you please say that he's going to call the plays, that you're not going to do it? Please.
Don't you think that there's a deeper problem there whenever you're begging your head coach to say that he's not going to be calling plays? That's kind of a pretty big tell, isn't it?
I would say it's not where you want to be as a college football fan, right? And I will maintain my position. Bobby Petrino would not be there if he wasn't going to be the play caller, right? With everything I've ever heard about that guy,
yeah.
I imagine, I don't know if he got it in writing, but I imagine there was a verbal gentleman's agreement that, like, yeah, if I take this job, I'm calling the plays. Now, maybe there wasn't, but the drama that this is creating is fantastic, right? Because A&M, they've just not been as good as they should be offensively these last couple seasons. They just haven't, right? With the talent that they have significantly underachieved offensively. And I don't know why Bobby Petrino would take that job for any other reason than, like, yeah, I'm going to have full control of this thing. But who knows? Jimbo's his boss technically, and Jimbo doesn't seem, he seems a bit reluctant to give up control just a little bit. It doesn't seem like he wants to be the CEO type of guy, right? That doesn't seem to be something that he's overly interested in, which I guess we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Part of me hopes it goes terribly.
It's going to. Just think of the situation. I think Jimbo, sometimes I feel like he's purposely trying to get fired.
Get the buyout.
Just think of this. Like, after last offseason with the whole Saban thing and how they did the recruiting class, tons of controversy, goes into the season. They have a horrible year. They lose to App State. It's just chaos. Who would ever think hiring Bobby Petrino is going to bring stability at offensive coordinator to their situation? Like, what hire is that? You are purposely creating a sideline feud that's going to be on national television in a horrible loss to, I don't know, insert whatever team you want. It's going to happen. It's going to be a disaster. I'm glad. This is the type of things I want to see. It's just the craziest hire ever, isn't it?
I was in about the middle of the season when TCU was really getting rolling and A&M was struggling. I was like, man, Jimbo should try to hire Garrett Riley. Like, I was dead set. I was like, they need to go after Garrett Riley, pay him whatever he wants, have him come in there and kind of jumpstart that offense, modernize it a little bit. And they hired Bobby Petrino.
Yeah, he was on the defensive for so long about it. Someone smart actually hired Garrett Riley really quickly, like right out of the gate, paid him a ton of money. Who's that? Oh, someone who's won a couple of national championships in the last 5 or 6 years. No big deal.
Yeah. So I don't know how it's going to go. They got a lot of good.
Do?
I'm thinking it won't go well, but maybe
even if it goes well, it's going to go bad.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people, you've been around people like this. Some people just need that person in there that's gonna rub them the wrong way and like grind their gears, and for some weird reason that gets the best out of them. Maybe that's what Jimbo is doing here. He's like, who can I bring in here to piss me off as much as possible to where I get the best out of myself? Let's bring in Bobby Petrino, like the one of the strongest personalities possible. I don't know, but I know this. All the Texas A&M fans that I know are worried about this situation, and I love that. I think it's going to be incredibly entertaining throughout the season to see how it goes.
I actually think Bobby Petrino runs a good offense. I do. But this is why I think not that he's trying to get fired, but that he's purposely directly shoving it in your face. We need to get new and innovative. So he hires the oldest offensive coordinator in the country. Right? I mean, even though his offense it's not like they're running stuff from the 80s or 90s. Like he's good at offense, but the hire still says, okay, I'll hire someone, but I'm not going to hire someone new and innovative. Like, it's like, I'm going to do this the way I want to do it. And I want everyone to look at this hire. And no one liked it. There's nobody that liked it. Some people may have acted like it, but it's him like forcing his will over the entire fan base once again.
He's in charge, man.
That's right.
All that money's guaranteed. All of it. And the fans are going to have to deal with it. It's going to be his way. But one of the interesting parts, I talked to Dana Holgorsen and Gus Malzahn, both of them at Big 12 Media Days, and they both have gone away from play calling. Right. And those are two, like that's why they're in the position they're in, because of being great offensive minds, being great play callers. Right. And Holgorsen went as far as saying, like 2 years ago, having to be the head coach and balancing everything that you have to now and being the play caller, like having that weight on you and making all those decisions on one side of the ball. He said it almost killed him. He was like, we were going, I think they were going to play UConn or something like that. And he said, someone else call it. I can't do it. I'm done. Like, I'm toast. And Gus Malzahn said the same thing. He was like, dude, there's too much going on now in college football for me to be able to focus all the energy I need to focus on the offensive game plan and getting ready and getting it to the place that I want to get it to, and also having to handle all the other duties of a head coach. He's like, I can't do it anymore. So it was just funny to hear those guys talk about it like that. And then you've got Jimbo Fisher, who A&M has not had a ton of success these last couple of seasons, going, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see who calls it. Anyway, both of us can call it. It'll be fine. It's like these other guys are like, it's unsustainable. It's brutal. Couldn't do it anymore. Meanwhile, Jimbo's like, maybe I still got it.
It's like everyone else, you guys design it, I'll call it. I need to be the one over there holding the play sheet. Yeah?
Well, that's what Holgorsen said. It's interesting. He's like, I am in the room. Like, I'm in the offensive room. I want to be comfortable with every play on the call sheet, right? With what we're doing situationally. He's like, I'm heavily involved, but on game day, he's like, maybe I'll flip on the headset every once in a while, suggest something, but it's too much, man. So I found that really, really interesting.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot to it, man. And offensively, defensively, it just kind of goes back to my point though. Like, can you think of another coach, a head coach, that's either offensively or defensively specialized, where the fan base would be upset that guy is calling the plays? Like, if it came out that, hey, Saban's going to call plays this year on defense, you think people would be upset about that? No. Anyone, Holgorsen, if if they said he's calling the offense, everyone would be like, good, okay, yeah, that's why he's here, But Jimbo, it's like, no, no. It's so funny, man. I love it.
It is.
Beautiful.
It's entertaining for sure. All right, a couple other things. Saban is talking right now at SEC Media Days, so I'm sure some good stuff are going to come out from Nick. But in case anyone was wondering, what does Nick Saban think about OU and Texas coming into the SEC? Here's the quote. I think it's a great addition. You have two great programs with great tradition. It's going to be even more challenging. There's a lot of positives about it. Lord Saban has spoken. He likes it. That's all we need, right? That's the only approval you need.
That's it.
Who cares what the running back from LSU said? He knows nothing. He's not Nick Saban. Nick Saban's like, yeah, it's good. All right, then I'm in. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what most people are going to say. Did you hear the Georgia? I don't know who the player was.
Offensive lineman.
Yeah, it was the perfect response. Like, he heard that one directly from Coach Kirby Smart before they got off the plane at Media Day. It's like, hey, if you want to ask about OU Texas, we'll be respectful of them. Good programs, going to be competitive. Like, that's it. And the player like kind of gathered himself for a second and then went right into laser focus mode. Is good.
Cedric Von Pran. I'm not entirely sure how you say it. Guy can play. Interior lineman for Georgia. He's a good player. And that's why coaches send offensive linemen to media days. Big brains.
Right.
That's it. Right? No one really cares what the offensive linemen think, right? Even if you're going to be a high round draft pick. No, people really don't care.
What position does he play?
I think he plays center.
Okay. I was going to say, they don't send guards.
They typically don't. You don't see a lot of offensive guards making the trip. That's true. But he is, yeah, I thought that he handled that extremely well. The only other thing coming out of the first couple of days, anything that Kirby Smart said that stood out to you? Obviously, back-to-back national champs. He did address the speeding issue, said the biggest threat to his team is complacency, which is, God, what a quote. But yeah, really, those were the main things from Kirby that came out of it was, the quote was, we're doing more to prevent speeding than anybody in the country. So he's, quote, confident in the education that we are doing. So I mean, what is he supposed to say? Like, hey, man, I can't control everything these kids do. Like, I'm trying my best, guys,
I think it's I think he also said that it's less than it was previously.
Yeah.
And it's like whenever the government comes out and says inflation's down. Wait a minute, down from where? Right? From the all-time high? Yeah, okay, maybe it's down a little from the all-time high, but it was pretty funny. The complacency thing's interesting. I had Coach Stoops on the show yesterday and kind of asked him about Kirby Smart's that quote, won back-to-back titles. Like, how difficult is it? And Coach Stoops, I thought he was dead on. He says, yeah, with younger guys, whenever you have had a lot of success and there's younger guys that come in and they don't know what it was like before all of the success. There's this, like, everyone just kind of expects that it's going to happen. And if you show up to play quarterback at Georgia, well, you're going to win 2 national championships, just like, the previous guy did. And
come on, man.
Stetson. Sorry.
Stetson.
The previous guy. How about that?
The guy.
The one guy, the one dude.
The guy.
So I think that there's something to that. I feel like the success has been, it's so high and so recent that I don't think they're to that point yet, but there will be a point where, you're going to be playing with guys that don't know what it's like and expect it to always be rosy. And, it's, the cycle's going to have to kind of start over a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's this year, maybe not.
Right. You look at their schedule, and I love how what did he say? Come play it, which I thought he had some really good lines ready. I mean, had a couple that were, he was in his bag a little bit with some of those lines, but I and this is something you talk a lot about, like saying that the biggest threat to them is complacency. There was zero doubt in my mind that he was talking directly to his players.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, like, oh, you better not start feeling yourself. Right now, you want to be confident, all these things, but like we can go win a third if you guys don't get too comfortable. Basically, that's how I interpreted in him saying that to the media, to everyone. And SEC Media Day is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So his players heard that and they have to be like, yep, he's been saying it. He's going to keep saying it.
Yeah. I thought one of the interesting things, now this wasn't Georgia, but I thought it was great when when Vanderbilt's coach said, "We shudder at the thought of being known as an academic institution that also plays football." Is that not the quote of the year?
Hey, first of all, Clark Lee, congrats. He got an extension. They just announced his extension. And I like that guy. I've never met him, but I like him. I like how he carries himself. It seems like he is improving that roster, and it's going to be, with the academic restrictions they've got, it's going to be tough. But yeah, that was I got a good chuckle when he said that. We shudder at the thought. Oh, it was
We do
good.
not want to be known as a good academic school anymore. We want to be known as a good football school.
Yeah, he was clearly he was joking a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Vandy ends up looking like. Still a long road to them being the best program in college football, like he said they were going to be. So, but hey,
What
seems
they
like they're
put,
closer today than they were when he took over.
what was the number? Didn't they put like 600 million, something like that, or
Yeah,
more into facilities
yeah,
that they're building?
yeah.
Pretty
And
impressive.
the season starts really soon, and there's a bunch of people that are staying in that hotel, which you can see into Vandy Stadium, and it doesn't look like those renovations are going to be done for the season. Looks like they may be a little behind schedule.
Mm. Well, yeah, I feel bad for them.
Yeah. Yeah. They shudder. So good. All right.